Godzilla Final Wars is the most disappointing thing since Obama's presidency. I mean, how much more could you fuck up the 50th anniversary of such a beloved character? Doctor Who got it right, and I don't even watch Doctor Who. I remember as a kid waiting for and reading up on everything I could for this stupid movie, thinking it would blow me away once it reached the States. Well, I got blown by somebody, but it wasn't Godzilla. Hey, I mature fast. It's part of my life cycle. This movie has been egging at me ever since I first heard about it online, and I just want to point out every little thing I don't like about it. And there are a lot of little things I don't like. Number 1. Opening music. From the very first scene of the movie, you can tell something's wrong. Just listen. Did you get it? It's the stupid techno music. It's like it replaces the classic Godzilla theme. Great way to pay tribute to the past 50 years, assholes. I mean, it's a pretty badass scene, what with Godzilla in silhouette and all the blown up tanks and things. It really sets the tone for the rest of the movie. How they take good ideas and piss all over them. How better would it have been if they'd just used the real music? Here, I'll do it right now. I don't know about you, but that made me just jizz my pants a little. Number 2. The Godzilla Suit. I applaud this movie infinitely for using real guys in rubber suits, right when Hollywood was making everything CGI. Thanks, jackass. Ha ha ha. But as great as the suits are, the Godzilla costume looks stupid to me. Well, the face does anyway. What's wrong with it? Well, he looks kinda like a rat. Dinosaurs shouldn't look like rats, they should look like dinosaurs. What's worse, it doesn't even look like how it was promoted. See how big his spines are and the lizard-looking face? Why couldn't they do that? I guess they needed it streamlined so he could fight better. Which is cool and all, but they fucked up his face. I fucked up some faces, but not like that. Number 3. The XMen. So they have these magical X-Men in it for no reason, because the director didn't want to make a Godzilla movie. The only thing I can think of is he wanted to do a superhero and got stuck with this job, so he put them together. Or he's a total retard, but I think it's the compromised vision thing. The movie spends way too much time on these guys, showing them fighting, and fighting, and fighting some more. Isn't the movie called Godzilla Final Wars, not random Japanese guy who makes silly faces and fights other random Japanese guys with silly faces Final Wars? You already have the greatest hero who ever was. Why do you need these jackasses? What is wrong with you? Number 4. The opening titles. Now, the opening credits are pretty good. They show up all the different Godzilla movies, how he's looked over the years, while the counter goes up. The titles come alive with fire and lightning. It makes you think the intro was just off, and the rest of the movie will be pretty good. It's a shame such titles are wasted in a bad movie. They fucking lied to us! Number 5. The Manda Fight. So, right after the titles, we get to see a fight scene between the Torrigan and Manda, which is basically the same thing from way back in 1962, when I was just a boy. A puppet of a sea dragon wraps around the submarine, but at least they managed to burn him off with cartoon fire. Then they freeze his ass. The scene only takes 5 minutes, which sucks because we were promised Manda in this film. What the hell? They could have defeated Manda, but then had him come back and fight Godzilla, or something other than just getting his ass frozen. This was stupid, but it was a good way to introduce the main hero of the movie, which brings me to my next point. Number 6. This guy. So the real hero of this film isn't necessarily Godzilla, which is stupid. No, it's Super Kung Fu Mario here. And he's cool, kinda. He goes around and tells people off, has a killer mustache, and totes around a samurai sword. He's played by mixed martial artist and professional homosexual Don Fry. And if there was anybody who could replace Godzilla, it's him. Now, why would you want to replace Godzilla? I don't know. I guess you're a retard or something. But he's the best part of the whole movie. He disappears for half of it, but he has a pretty good re-reveal. Of course, he speaks in English for the whole thing, but I'm sure that's okay. It wouldn't alienate Japanese audiences, and... oh... Number 7. Lame-ass Matrix fighting. So immediately after the pulse-pounding but still lame Manda scene, we get another stupid fight scene. This time between two of the X-Men, where they rip off the Matrix and do a lot of flips and shit in midair. They also have this crazy light show going on. It's stupid. Not just because it looks ridiculous, which it does, and not just because it doesn't focus on giant monsters, which it doesn't, but because they just had an adrenaline-fueled fight scene right before it. You've got to let people's jets cool down between fights. They can't be expected to keep the same emotional state throughout the entirety of the movie. They want to be taken on a journey, not just an adrenaline rush. It gets boring after a while. You need to pace it all out. It also looks stupid with them just hitting the plastic on their zip-up uniforms. You can't get them some tight leather, you ass? Number 8. The plot is stupid. So after the fight, we actually get the real plot of the movie. It sucks. It involves this badass mutant being turned into a bodyguard, and he doesn't like it, even though it's really for a hot chick who's supposed to be a scientist. Yeah, we all believe that shit. And he constantly complains about being a babysitter, which he should. Why the hell does she need babysitting? Is it because biologists studying dead monsters are constantly under attack from anti-evolution people? Is there some kind of hidden subplot about religious people protesting giant monster attacks because they're from the devil or something? Or is it just so we can be in the right place at the right time to hear the stupid Mothra prophecy about how the monsters all have M-base? Also, why the hell is he dressed like a Nazi? He has the red armband and everything. Heil Godzilla, am I right? Fuck you! So they meet up with the Mothra fairies who need to go straight to hell, and they have some shit about some ancient prophecy with Gigan, and they have a magical cross they give them that don't make no sense. Remember this magical cross. It becomes important later. As in, 2 hours later after you've done well and forgotten about the stupid thing because it's stupid. 9. The New York scene.
Yo, you listening? Man, you read the sign. Come on, man. I ought to be talking for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, 5 seconds, doesn't freaking matter, because I'm gonna bust you up.
I'm looking at a dead man. I'm looking at a dead man. Yo, what's up?
Come on, put the gun down.
No, see, too late for that. Just here in a hand cannon. I'll blow your ass all the way back to Jersey. Great! Go for it. Shut the hell up. You drunk.
First of all, this is racist. Second of all, they originally wanted to say fuck instead of hell, but they decided that would be too stupid. Thirdly, this is the most accurate representation of the Big Apple I've ever had the opportunity to watch, and I applaud them for it. One of the problems, though, is this stupid CGI Rodan they have smashing the place up. Yeah, they also have a Rodan in a rubber suit, but they have some shit-ass CGI they couple him with. They couldn't have just made the suit have a pass over the city and blow some shit up? Is that so hard? We don't need more CGI, we need more rubber suits. Number 10. The American Godzilla. So, it's about this time the American insult to Godzilla shows up with even more CGI. I like this bit, showing how shitty he looks when he's computer generated, and it finally gives us the chance to see the two duke it out. The Japanese weren't very pleased with the American remake of Godzilla, and they haven't let it go. I think, though, this gives them the opportunity to forgive America, and they can quit their attempted conquest of us. Ha ha ha. Number 11. This stupid kid. There's a scene where a kid throws a toy turtle into a fire while yelling, This is clearly a stab at Gamera, whom we could have seen fight Godzilla for the 50th anniversary. But did he? No. I guess this is the closest we'll ever get to seeing the two fight. Right, guys? Ha ha ha. But seriously, what's the deal with all these toys? Are they supposed to be toys of the different monsters throughout history? Why does he have toys of monsters that don't exist yet? Like this cackling Ghidorah with the bell roars. Did the aliens read his mind when they brought down the monsters? Is it all this kid's fault? Do you think he was in therapy after the monsters started destroying everything because he blamed himself? I want to know more about this kid. He should have been the star of the movie. Also, is this guy from Battlefield Earth? What do you think? Number 13. The Son of Godzilla. So there's this lame-ass subplot about the son of Godzilla tracking around with this old man and his grandson that has nothing to do with anything. Yeah, it comes back near the end of the film where Minya has the power to stay Godzilla's hand for some reason, but it prattles on and on. Yeah, he shoots out a little smoke ring in one scene and then grows really big. Wait, I thought that was supposed to be in that stupid kid's imagination. How the hell did he do that? After he does that, why couldn't he help Godzilla with some of his fights? Yeah, he might have got his ass kicked, but it would have been nice to see Godzilla fighting alongside his son, whooping ass, shooting fire together, or just have him get killed and have Godzilla get angry. I mean, they're trying to go dark, right? Number 14. The Lobster Scene. So they have this big fight scene with the red lobster, but don't have no black people. That's completely stupid and boring. You have the X-Men go and raise hell with the lobster and shoot him up and all this shit. There's no real tension for them. Apparently getting smacked around by a giant monster doesn't affect them, so what will? Nothing I know about, that's for damn sure. Also, look at him. He's being tore up by the hand cannons that are handheld. I thought they had these huge giant laser tanks that couldn't do nothing to the monsters. Why can these guys suddenly shoot his arm off? Is it because they're mutants? Well, their guns aren't mutants. Is it because the monster's weak? Well, why not shoot him up with, tanks and shit? If the hand cannons can do this, then why can't they use the big guns? It seems like it would be less dangerous. They don't even want to barbecue him with garlic sauce.
Sorry. I'm a vegetarian.
You know, dumbass, most vegetarians eat lobster. Now me, I eat too much pussy to be a vegetarian. Number 15. Weird colors. It's at this point I noticed that the entire film is bathed in thick colors of yellow, blue, orange, shit, and I wondered to myself, why? Is it to make the movie look cooler because stuff like this was popular? Or is it because they don't have no atmosphere? Look at these sets. Are they well decorated? Did they evoke a kind of careful setup used to convey a certain mood? No, they don't. They figure if they just wash out the film, it'll look cool and our brains will be overdone with color saturation that we'll like it. Well, they're wrong. All it does is make me think about killing my ex-wife. Number 16. The aliens are stupid.
Our planet's name is unpronounceable in your tongues, I'm afraid. However, you may call us Exilians.
Yeah, like that's more pronounceable. So the aliens say they want to protect us from the incoming planet they stole from a better movie, and they have already removed all the monsters. But it turns out they set the monsters loose in the first place. Now, I know this is supposed to be from Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, where they promise the Earthlings peace if they help them get rid of the monsters, but there they have a large, complex deal that shows mutual benefits for both sides. The alien kid says,
"You sent the monsters in a battle, and then you eliminated them all. What was the point? I don't understand."
And his dad says,
"One day that might isn't always right. A peaceful settlement is much more desirable."
Why? Your evil plan is to enslave all the humans and eat them. Yeah, maybe he wanted to lull them into a sense of security and eventually become entangled in something they can't get themselves out of. But why wait? Why not just come down and blow shit up and release all your monsters and kill everybody? It's the waiting that ends up being their downfall, because that allows Mario to release Godzilla and raise hell. You wouldn't have had to deal with Godzilla if you got your shit together. They try hiding the secretary guy, but they find out he's an alien and... Oh my god, what is wrong with your face?
I kinda like this face.
Well, you're a faggot. Number 17. Escape scene. So the next thing they do is escape from the evil X-Men.
Watch it, X-Man.
No, he's an alien. He's the X-Man. Anyway, they have this souped-up motorcycle chase in washed-out colors where they're beating each other up and not getting hurt while they shoot bullets at each other. It could have been real exciting, but they just wail away at each other without consequence. You know, you have to have people get hurt to show they're not immortal and create what's called tension for us to care. If someone's running around not getting hurt, why should we care that they're in danger? In fact, why should we care about these assholes? Where's Godzilla? If you showed this scene out of context to any random person, would they be able to tell it comes from a Godzilla movie? No, they wouldn't. Unless they were insane. It could have been a good sequence if they were fighting in the middle of Godzilla's attack and they had to dodge Godzilla's heat ray or something. They could have even ridden up on Godzilla. It would have made for a pretty epic climax instead of the actual climax. Now, my climaxes are always. Number 18. Gigan's robot costume sucks. I remember first seeing drawings of Gigan's new costume and I was pretty excited. One of my favorite monsters was getting an update and looked cool for the new millennium. Sadly, when it was actually put in the movie, it looked like walking crap. Just look at it. It looks like some kind of Power Rangers reject that's trying too hard to be badass. Gigan didn't need to try too hard. He already was badass. And then they give him an eye laser, but it spreads out into a fireworks show that shouldn't actually hurt anybody. Why would you have a weapon like that? I guess you like missing your mark, asshole. And the chainsaw hands certainly don't help anything either. And why was Mothra prophesized to fight Gigan? What connection does he have with her? I mean, she was always talking about Ghidorah, not about him. And where's Megalon? Why would you bring back Gigan in a stupid costume, but not Megalon? That would be like if I broke in the middle of the video and did a skit with a talking Hot Pocket and some hooker chained up underground. I mean, that would just be stupid. Number 19. This asshole. So there was this rival mutant guy from earlier in the film who we only have the slightest connection with, and now he was brought on board the Gotengo for some reason. Wasn't he being mind-controlled by the aliens earlier? How does he break their influence? I thought they did something to his DNA and changed him from the inside. Unless he broke his DNA open and fixed it or something. Shouldn't he be one of the chosen ones if he can do that? This movie sucks. Number 20. Godzilla! Hooray! Okay, so Godzilla finally appears in an adequately epic reveal. The thing blows up and then his fire shoots out and we see the fire in his eyes. He roars in the middle of the blaze and blows up the two guys who were listening to the Mechagodzilla theme. He then lays the smackdown on Gigan and blows his stupid head off. This brings me to my next 2 points. Number 21. Too much fire breath. So, one of the worst trends in Godzilla movies from the late 80s was on the sheer abundance of fire breath he shot. Yes, it's the coolest thing he does, but too much of a good thing can be bad for you. It becomes too much of a be-all, end-all weapon that he can just whip out whenever he's in trouble. Big scary monster? Use fire breath. Giant alien spaceship? Use the fire breath. Whatever happened to beating up your enemies the old-fashioned way, tooth, nails, and claws? I don't mean for him to go full Bruce Lee and start doing flying crane kicks, but... Oh, number 22. Kills too fast. Godzilla is supposed to be the ultimate badass, but he kills his opponents too fast, like they're nothing. It sucks out any tension that could be had there. If there's no threat to the hero, there's no reason to be happy when he wins. It's like us swatting flies. Flies don't want to hurt us. Setsy flies do, but fuck them. See, when Godzilla first completely destroys the American Godzilla in like 30 seconds, I thought it was because the American Godzilla was really weak and easily dispatched. Because in his own movie, he was really weak and easily dispatched. Little did I know that all the other monsters over the years were total pussies, and Godzilla really wasn't all that tough. I guess this asshole had it right the whole time. Oh my god! Number 23. Goal! Do I really need to describe this? I mean, this really shows what's wrong with the whole movie. Having stupid, over-the-top scenes that don't have any business being there. Why would you ever put that in a Godzilla movie, let alone Godzilla's 50th anniversary? It is nice to see him spare his friends, though, after they helped him out for all those years. Number 24, Fighting the Death Star. So they decide to completely rip off Star Wars because it goes good for kids, I guess. I will give it to them. It actually went all the way with what I originally thought was going to happen in The Return of the Jedi. Remember when Han said this?
Yeah, I just got a funny feeling like I'm not going to see her again.
I always thought that meant the Falcon would get destroyed, like maybe crashing into the reactor core, and might symbolize Han's freedom from a life of crime. But no, Lando makes it out in the end, and they all grow to be stronger, more noble characters, and people hate them because they dance around with Ewoks. You suck, fat ass. Anyway, this scene is okay. It just rips everything off number by number, like other sequences of the film. Look at this one here. That's obviously stolen from My Little Pony. Why would they do that? They also steal the basic plot from To Serve Man. Dumbasses. Number 25. Mothra is lazy. So right when Godzilla reaches the city and starts to fight Monster X is when Mothra finally gets off her royal ass and comes to help out. Why didn't she do anything before? Is it because she was in her larval form and the fairies needed to pray to her to hatch, then cocoon herself, then go out and fight? Well, isn't she supposed to be prescient and can see the future? Why didn't she do all of this in preparation for when the aliens arrived? Surely all-powerful Mothra see through their ruse. Why didn't she just come and raise hell? She could have busted Godzilla out of the ice. Furthermore, I know she's prophesized to fight Gigan, but why doesn't she help out with Monster X, who's clearly the bigger threat? He's also supposed to be Ghidorah in larval form, which would have made more sense for her to fight. Even fighting Gigan, why doesn't she dive bomb Monster X at the end? I mean, Gigan had already had his head chopped off. He wasn't too much of a threat. I know kamikazes are highly respected in Japan, but it looks like she didn't die with much honor here. Maybe it's because she's a total pussy and can't really do anything and doesn't deserve half the popularity she gets. But that's just me. Number 26. This fight is the most stupid thing ever. The fight on the Death Star is really stupid and goes on for way too long. We came to see the goddamn King of the Monsters throw down and not dish shit. And what's worse than over-choreographed and too-fast kung fu bullshit? Monsters imitating the same bullshit. I think this shot here sums up what's wrong with the whole movie. It implies the monsters come second and are only there to satisfy people who paid money for their favorite hero when another hero is being sold to them. This sucks. When you don't have your heart and soul in the main action of the movie, the action is boring and it really shows you didn't want to make the movie in the first place. Number 27. Monster X. So the one new monster in the past 4 Godzilla films is Monster X, some kind of weird skeleton monster that shoots lasers from his eyes and knows kung fu. He's pretty cool, and it really is a shame that he's used in this lame-ass movie. I don't know if he could have been in a movie all his own, like he just comes down one day and Godzilla kicks his ass, but he's underused here. The only real problem with him is that he ruins Ghidorah, implying he's some kind of larval Ghidorah. Did all the Ghidorahs start out this way? Did the different kind of Ghidorahs have different larval stages? Did the filmmakers know what they were doing? Number 28. Kaiser Roll. So when Monster X transforms, they call it Kaiser Ghidorah. He sucks. Remember back when Ghidorah was the destroyer of worlds? Yeah, the reason Mars ain't there anymore is because of him. Venus too, if you know what I mean. Remember how awesome it was in the old movie when Ghidorah came out? He could fly around and raise hell, shoot lightning, be surrounded by different monsters. If Ghidorah was in town, you knew he meant business. And he's okay here, I guess. He's got magic lightning that allows him to drag Godzilla all over the city for no reason. His heads pay homage to all the other Ghidorahs. And he even starts to suck Godzilla. Wait, that's not what I meant. I mean, he makes him softer with his mouth. Oh, forget it. The problem is the 4-legged pony of death thing that he's got going. Look at him, lumbering around on 4 legs with these tiny wings that don't do no good. Why couldn't his arms have turned into wings and he could fly around, maybe have some fighting up in the air, and Godzilla could mess him up a little better? It must have been hard swinging that massive-ass suit around, but he puts on the Infinity Gauntlet and unleashes his spiral breath and blows him up. Godzilla does a lot of blowing in this movie. Number 29. Sappy ending. So the sun rises on a field of victory as all the humans look forward to repopulating the Earth. They start to raise their guns like they're going to shoot Godzilla, but the power of love saves them with the son of Godzilla. See? All that crap from earlier came back and makes sense now. Hooray for subplots! So the father and the son go out into the water and everything's happy, right? Wrong! No, actually, it kinda is. I mean, the world's in complete shambles, but who cares? Godzilla wins! Number 30. In conclusion. So in the end, the movie's okay. It's a little watchable, and it really makes Godzilla out to be the badass we all want him to be. It just goes too far and becomes a parody of the monster. In America, most people think of Godzilla as some kind of old joke, a throwback to another era when giant dinosaurs were scary compared to today's serial killers and such. And this movie does little to dispel that belief. The real tragedy of this is that it was an opportunity to salvage Godzilla and make a poignant, touching movie for his 50th anniversary that appealed to a wide range of people. Godzilla isn't just a towering god of death, though he certainly is. He means something different to every person, and every interpretation is just as valid. To some, he's a destroyer. To others, he's a superhero, the strongest in the land. He's a cheaply exploited export, and he's a father and a role model. He's debatably the most complex character in all of cinema, each facet brought to light with each new movie. He's something to be studied, not destroyed. And it's me, you, and all the other fans who've kept him going all these years, and it's us, not shitty filmmakers, who will keep Godzilla alive. You can't keep a good lizard down.